Laura,
Yeah.
ask me what my favorite number is.
What's your favorite number?
100.
Why is that?
Because upcoming soon, the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast is going to be launching our 100th episode, which is basically like 2 years, but just sounds better than saying like 104.
Oh my gosh. Are you
So,
kidding me?
Yes, we are very excited to be launching the 100th episode. I can't believe that we've been doing it this long. And what we want is for our listeners to write in, call in 702-900-6446, or email the podcast at twndpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear about your favorite guests, your favorite episodes, certain clips that you may like, because we are going to feature all of that and more on the 100th episode.
Yeah, there's so many good clips. There's so many good episodes, so many guests that we loved having.
For sure.
We gotta
over
do
2 years of content at this point. Like, how are we even going to scrub through all that? There's been so many amazing guests and conversations.
Well, we have some homework to do.
We definitely have some homework to do. And so because we don't like doing homework, we're giving you guys some homework too.
You all
So
do.
guys, gals, anybody who listens, please write in. Let us know what you love about the podcast. Even just share voicemails about what you love about the podcast. Or if you have questions for us, stuff that you want us to say for the 100th episode, we would love to hear from you. So once again, 702-900-6446 for voicemails, and email twndpodcast@gmail.com for all your other submissions. We look forward to celebrating our 100th episode, and we are so very happy that you all come every week.
Yes,
You know,
thank you so much.
Just keep coming. Keep coming. Well, it's not a tiny penis, and it's nice.
big?
It's nice to rub. It's big.
Do you shoot stuff with it or you don't? No.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not.
I just wanted to know if I could see the penis
Spontaneous.
somewhere. I'll sign up. I'll
I
pay
mean,
for
I have a
it.
photo on
like,
my phone. I'm Molly Stewart,
And I'm Laura.
and this is the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. We're best friends, and Laura shoots pretty much all of my adult content.
Yep. I've seen everything.
Everything. I'm still trying to see everything of her, but that's part of the journey that you can experience here on the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. Laura, what do we talk about here?
Anything and everything.
What is my job, Laura?
To be beautiful and lovely and funny.
Oh my God, you're so sweet, but that's not true at all. So Laura is here to bring me a little bit out of the dirty headspace and into a more wholesome one. But I can't say that all of our conversations aren't dirty, so they might be a little bit of a false advertising. But whether you're returning or new to the show, welcome, and we're so very happy to have you here. So Laura, why don't you tell them what they can do if they're watching on YouTube?
If you're on YouTube, we'd love if you leave a comment, share with a friend, subscribe.
Do all the things, and wherever you're listening, definitely subscribe and share with a friend if you like what we have to talk about. So let's go get not dirty.
Let's get in it.
And on that note, welcome back to the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. Because things do not always go as planned. And joining us today, we have the amazing Joanna Angel.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
We're very happy to have you here. And also thank you for all of the amazing liquid death that you have sent here to the house.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody cheers to the liquid
Everybody
death.
cheers. Oh, you know how many times a day I almost break a nail on liquid death?
I can imagine. Those seem
I
like,
figured it out.
those seem like a
Figured it out.
lot to deal with,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
Cheers. Cheers.
Woo. These are so good. I love the berry one.
Do you like, is that your favorite flavor?
Yes. This and the mango, that mango chainsaw. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really, they're all
Convicted.
really
I haven't tried these
Yeah,
ones
that's
yet.
a new flavor.
That's really cool.
That one's
Convicted
bomb
melon.
too.
Yeah.
It's looking all Christmassy up in here.
I know, right?
I wish I could say it's festive, but it's not. But it's it is it Cinco de Mayo?
It is Cinco
oh my
de Mayo.
gosh,
Yeah,
break
I
out
mean,
the mariachi.
it probably won't be Cinco de Mayo when
Not
people
when
are
this
singing
is
it.
no,
Are we
but
live?
no, not live right now. No.
Yeah. Well,
God, I can never-
everyone who's watching this, it's Cinco de Mayo.
It is Cinco de Mayo today, so Merry Cinco de Mayo.
So I guess we should be drinking margaritas or something.
I would, but I'm sober, which is why actually I love liquid
love-
death.
yeah.
Because it's
Heck
like, oh, we
yeah.
go out to like a comedy show or something, or
Yep.
just out to a bar, and pretty much you can find it most places now.
Most places,
And then
yeah.
it just feels like you're part of.
But if you can't find it, you can get it on Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah.
How long have you been working with liquid death?
I've been working with Liquid Death now for a little of, I guess, over a year. I was a year and a half. I started off part-time for them, kind of like as a I started off part-time, and then they hired me full-time last April. So
That's
I'm
cool.
here. Yeah.
Could you
It's
pull your
cool.
mic just a little bit closer to your face?
I get it now. Ooh.
We used to have mics on little arm stands that would come out, but I talk kind of like this sometimes, and so I'm just
And so
I
you
even hit this
flailed
one
it
sometimes. So now
around.
we can just move all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. You just move around and
And
whatever.
you were just leaning in and out of the mic.
Yeah, always. It was never consistent. Sometimes I'd be really loud and sometimes I'd be real quiet. This is way better.
You just
This
have
is
to find
better
little
setup.
workarounds for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you are you still you're shooting mainstream at all? You're not really shooting
Yeah,
mainstream?
so I'm like, well, everyone, I've been in porn for about 20 years. Yeah, I am like mainstream, the word we use for shooting for porn studios. Every once in a while I still do. I never stopped, like I actually had a brand new scene for Brazzers just come out. So I'm not doing it obviously nearly as often.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple times a year, and I'll stop when I feel like stopping.
Yeah, for
I know
sure.
it's like a very common thing now. Like, I'm retired from mainstream. And it's like, I feel like when if the day ever comes where I retire, I want to retire from everything at once. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like, if I'm still naked on the internet having sex with people, then I'm fine to do it on OnlyFans, and I'm fine to do it. But, I do, for a while I lived in LA, so I do live in New York now.
Yeah.
And I have a full-time other job. So shooting for studios is not, part of my day. Yeah,
and
but
it also,
every once in a while,
and it's fun.
I enjoy it.
It is. It's fun to have a day on set. And when you're not doing it all the time, I'm sure it's even more fun because, then it's
is.
like more like an experience rather than like a job. It's like, oh, here's this fun thing I get to do and I get paid. And it's like, it's not like, having to shoot the same scene almost, verbatim, like 4 different times in a week, the entire month. And then I don't know how many scenes you shot in a month, but
yeah. And I think from being a content creator or whatever, and I'm sure you understand, a day on set for me, for like a studio, feels like a vacation because everyone's just going to tell you what to do. And like, we're so used to doing our own shit where it's like you're constantly thinking like, what do I need to do? What should I wear? Where should I set up my light? Like, what time should I start? You know what? I'll start in an hour.
Yep.
Let me go look at my stats and see what's selling before I decide what to do. Like,
which content do we have to prioritize today? What customs are on back order? Like, and there is a lot. Like, we just had a content trip, and they're fun.
Yeah.
It is fun to do, and it's fun to get the content and see it afterwards. But the whole thing is like a blur when you're shooting your own content.
Totally,
I feel like because there's so much like rearranging of the lights and the different cameras. Now we have to check the footage, and we have to reshoot this because the light went out. And then when you're on set, that responsibility is taken completely away from you.
Totally.
And it's like,
and I have fun. It
sure.
feels like I'm going to like revisit like a high school or something, not under it.
I know what
it
you
feels
mean.
like I'm
College
going back to
reunion.
it feels like I'm going back to like, oh hi everyone, like, oh my god, it's like like it's a nice, like, you get to step back and see all your
people
old
you haven't
buddies.
seen in a long time.
And look, the thing is about this industry, and I know it's not the same with every other girl. I've always loved the sex. If there was anything that ever burnt me out or anything about the industry, it was never the actual sex.
Yeah.
I always had fun, even if I wasn't particularly, personally attracted to whoever I was working with.
Yeah.
Like, once the camera was rolling and everything's going, it's just
I
like
understand.
you get excited. You
do.
And it doesn't. I never go to like a dark place, and I know it's not the same.
Are you
for
someone
everyone.
who?
So it's like I'm not. It's fun for me. It doesn't feel like a.
For sure,
draining.
It's not, it doesn't drain your energy for sure. No, it's so fun, and kind of the whole thing about like once the cameras are rolling, especially, it's like even if you don't have that connection with the person, are you someone who is kind of like thrilled and turned on then by the idea of being watched and like that it is being recorded and that people will see it?
I actually I think some of my best scenes are probably with people I wasn't like super connected to, because then I get like very like determined. I'm just like, I'm gonna find something.
Yes.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna figure it out.
So almost go like more gung-ho.
Yeah, it's almost like a person. It's like if you get rejected, you know, you kind of go, you're like, well then, all right, well let me try this. Well, let me try this. And it's like, it actually becomes this really cool thing where like you're really just communicating with someone sexually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're just like, okay, let our bodies kind of
like speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
amazing.
It's like a dance.
Yeah.
Like a dance, you know? Maybe it's awkward at first. So
Yeah.
Then you find the groove.
you find the groove.
You find the groove. You get there. You know,
Heck yeah.
but that is
I
why
love
some
that.
set days may take 12 hours.
Exactly.
You got to find the groove.
You
and
got to
sometimes
find
it
the
can take
groove.
a minute.
Sometimes it can take a while.
Some people have no rhythm.
Yeah.
It happens. I have 2 left feet.
Yeah.
You know?
Right?
I mean,
In life in general, I like challenges.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
so, and I know not everyone's the same,
Yeah.
you know? I've enjoyed experiencing things in porn that I wouldn't do in my day-to-day life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I know there's other performers, you know, from being a director for so many years, it's like I saw every kind of performer, you know, and some performers, they really don't want to do something on camera. They wouldn't do it, you know, and for me,
Yeah.
I liked this, safe, controlled environment is a place where I could do shit that I would never.
More.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do
and
it.
kind of like test your own boundaries in a place that you feel comfortable doing so.
Right.
In a place
With
that you
professionals.
in a
Yep.
place that you know. And I'm sorry, this isn't the case for everyone, but I think in most instances, a safe, controlled environment where if
Yes.
you do say no, something is done. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm not meaning to like discount because I've heard all the stories and the things like that of bad
We're not
situations.
I know we're not
But
like I don't
I've
want
been
to
very
gaslight.
lucky.
Yeah, we're just
I've been
talking about
very
our own
lucky
experiences.
in my own personal experiences with if I'm not comfortable with something, if I don't want something done, it doesn't get done. You know what I mean? And it's been a good experience that way to help me kind of realize, you know, different things that I liked about myself. Like, oh, I'm actually into women instead of just like my ex would always say, you know, it's just like gay for pay, like kind of shit like that. He's a terrible human being. So he would always tell me that I wasn't actually attracted to women. So
he was telling you what you were attracted to.
it's
his place to
he controlled
decide.
everything about my life. He controlled my introduction into the industry. So
I
it's
gotta
one of those
say-
things that now through the industry I've been able to kind of like explore in that way, and with like helpful partners and explorative partners and like people who are open-minded to be like, oh, this is something that is okay, and yes, you like women. It's you know what I mean? Like it's all right.
You know, I've said this many times, and whether it's, I don't know. The truth is, behind every strong and powerful woman, there is a shitty ex-boyfriend or current boyfriend.
No,
you know,
yeah.
it's like
it's someone.
It's like it just happened. All the most successful women I know, we all have that horrible ex-boyfriend.
Someone who
it's
just
almost
tried
like,
to see. It feels like to me, and it's like someone who like sees potential for
It's
you
true,
and
'cause
sees the potential that you have,
abusive men-
and they don't
Yep.
have it, and they want to control it, and they want to harness it, and
it's not exciting for an abuser to break down a weak person. They want to take a
want
strong
challenge
person and be
because
like,
just like we
"Wow."
like the challenge of
Exactly.
oh, can we fix and help this person?
Exactly.
They want the challenge of can I completely
can I
wreck them
ruin them?
emotionally?
Like they're
Can
doing
I
pretty
make-
well.
Can I make sure that they want to unalive
Financially,
themselves? Can I take all their money?
Can I take all their money? Yeah, and like this
Can I sell
person
off all
has a
their
good
body
amount of
parts?
money. Exactly. How far can I go?
Exactly.
Until they're just so dependent on me.
Yeah, until
and
they're
they
just
have
like
no other choice.
and yeah, until they're just
or they feel like they have no other choice.
exactly, and you just feel like a husk of a person. And
Yep.
after
Only people who have been through it get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because then when you talk about it with others, they're like, well, why didn't you leave? It's like God
'Cause I was
bless
weak,
you.
obviously.
Exactly. It's like bless you for not understanding what that's like.
yes, because thank God that you're or whoever like thanks
Yeah,
Satan
yeah.
like I'm not a
Yeah,
Christian.
exactly, that's what I
Thank
was
God
gonna
just
say.
like comes out. You know, I'm not meaning to offend anybody, but also like you know whatever. You know, don't be offended by everything.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna thank God. Our God.
I like be very thankful if you can hear a situation like I know I've talked on this show a lot about you know little bits and pieces here and there of all the terrible things, but if you can't relate to that and you can't relate to even me making jokes about it because that's how I deal with it, or like, and you can't understand that, oh, we'll just leave, just go do this thing. It's like, then you've never been put in that situation. You've never had your mind twisted to a point that you think that you are worth absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You've never had that done to you. And so good.
It's
good.
exhausting.
I'm glad that you don't understand.
You can't even start to think about leaving because you're just so exhausted getting through the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. And then it's like, even after you get out of it and you start to see, and then you can, see those signs, and you start to like make those changes in yourself to like not have that be a thing that repeats, and you think, oh, like it's better, I'm good now, I'm fixed from this, and then it's like something will happen, and it can be something that's so small, and it's not even, it can just be like a reminder of that bad situation. And it can be like you're put right back there again, and just not knowing how to deal with it, not understanding your own brain, and it's like, I'm not fixed yet. Yeah. It's like it gets better over time, but there's still those. It's like, Kinsumi. I'm trying to think of what it is. So there's Japanese broken pottery. And they put it back together with gold, filament, and so it's almost more beautiful broken,
I love
but
this
fixed
analogy,
than when it was. And so
we are broken people.
It's one of those things that's like
gold.
Exactly. So it's one of those things that it is, just because it was broken doesn't mean it can't be fixed, but you're still going to see where those broken pieces are. There's still going to be those pieces. You can be a beautiful new finished piece, and you can be different than you were before, but the damage is still there. It's just that maybe you can put a better light on it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dang.
I don't know what it's called. I should look that up so I don't sound really dumb.
Kind of like a liquid death can. See the gold?
Yeah.
See?
Right. I love it.
We're all just liquid death cans.
We're all just liquid death cans.
Kintsugi.
Beautiful.
Sorry.
Yes. What's it called?
Kintsugi. Kintsugi.
So it's a type of pottery.
Yes, it's called golden joinery.
I'm ready to go get
repair.
some.
Let's go get some.
Let's do it.
The golden repair. So that's, so that's one of the things.
Sorry, I made that go real dark for a minute.
No, don't we?
Like
that was
sex.
good.
No, this is what happens all the time.
Well, you said something about a shitty ex-boyfriend.
No,
I was like, of course you have a shitty ex-boyfriend.
That's good, because that's
You're
what
like amazing. So you have a shitty ex-boyfriend.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so great. So it's one of those things, like, did I have to get treated really, really shitty for a really long time so that I just didn't get a big head by how apparently awesome people think I am? I think I've just fooled everyone. But I have severe imposter syndrome.
I feel the same exact way. I definitely have severe imposter. I feel like I'm fooling everyone.
Yeah. And I'm like,
we're tricking everyone.
But then
one day they'll figure it out.
I know. And then I'll ask myself, like, what are you tricking them about? I'm like, I don't know. Something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Exactly.
It must be something.
It must be something. Yeah. And when they figure it out, you don't even know they're going to take everything away. They're going to come and take your house away. They're going to take everything away.
They're going to take everything
the
from
president
me.
Of whatever, of something.
Whoever they are, they're coming for me.
I understand it. Look, I totally get where you're coming from, because I feel that way every day. Like, I'm catfishing the world.
Yeah. It's like some days I wake up and I look in the mirror and I'm just like, you?
Yeah.
You?
It's because...
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Nancy's returned.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So Nancy is just basically you when you're hormonal. Correct?
When I'm
that's her alter ego, Nancy.
When I'm very PMSy and getting that really dark, my hormones affect me very badly, like
mine
right before my period, and I just hate myself and I turn into negative Nancy. So when I start to get that way, my man now calls me Nancy. He's like, how are you feeling? How you feeling, Nancy?
Are you Nancy?
Get a little down there, are you?
That's your alter ego?
Yeah.
I need a name for my alter ego, I guess.
Yeah.
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 I think everyone should have one, because then it helps you separate, like,
fear of the name increases fear of the thing itself,
totally.
as Dumbledore once said. So
and it's a nice reminder to yourself, like, this is not really me.
Yeah.
This is just me right now, and this is not.
It's a moment.
Because sometimes in those moments you're like, oh,
like, this will never end.
Yeah.
And we've said that before, like, it will be like a beautiful day and I'll feel on top of the world, and once that hormone dump hits, it could be the same day, the same situation, all of a sudden I'm just like kicking walls. I'm just like, everything's terrible. No one would care if I died. No. Right. I'm like, I'm about to bleed.
If it's hormones, for me it's like a bad day of ADHD. It's not. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's sometimes it's just like I can't get anything done.
Yeah, I have a lot of that, like the overthinking of like here's all the plans and the things that I want to do, and then I get overwhelmed in the details of all the things, and then making micro lists inside of my list, because if I can only organize before I start, then I'll be so much more efficient once I do. And then like
you're
2
so
months
proud of
later,
yourself.
I'm like, look at all these lists and nothing's
you're so proud of yourself for making the list that you're like, I'm good now.
Good
I don't
job.
even need to do the things on this list, because look at this list.
Look at this. I could give this list to anyone and they could do it. I should just make lists for other people.
You're just that's what happens.
You get a list. You get a list. You get a list.
Listen, when I retire from pornography,
you're gonna
become a list creator.
Professional
Molly's lists.
Look at all these beautiful photos. I'm just like I feel like everybody's like, why is Joanna on drugs? Because I'm like looking around
it's
the
a sensory
studio
thing.
and all of your really hot pictures, and I'm like, God damn.
We just like
Beautiful.
to have.
I like you have this picture of your ass like right there, and I can't.
She's like, I can't stop.
I'm trying to concentrate.
A few people have
so it's
commented.
like I'm staring at you. It's inappropriate.
A few people have commented on that during the podcast screenings, and y'all can't see this because we're not turning around. But I'm wondering if I should just get like little curtains to frame it so I can just close them during the podcast.
Yeah.
So people understand people's background.
Yep.
Yeah. If you finish the episode, you get to see my ass.
Yes.
The end. The finale.
It's like I'm sorry, I'm not listening to you.
You just get
Staring
the facial reaction. Just
it's beautiful.
You have a remote control, like.
Stop it. Like a taser, like maybe something like an electrocution thing that just buzzes, like pay attention.
We just have one of those little hand zappers and we're just like, hey.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So what, being a content creator, what kind of content do you like to make for yourself? Like what's some of your favorite stuff to make?
Well, lately, I mean, I'm not very good at it, I'll admit, but I do love making TikToks. It's really fun for me.
It is fun.
I feel like there's this, I don't know. I originally started making them because, of course, in this industry, there's always like secrets going around. And I just remember going to some industry party, like, I don't know, a year, 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh my God, you can make so much money on TikTok. Like everybody loves to share, oh, if you go viral on TikTok, you're going to make $100,000. You're going to do, this girl posted this 5-second video and she made $500,000. It's like, I feel like that goes on. And I'm like, all right, I didn't want to start all over again on another new platform.
Girl,
this is exhausting.
I didn't join TikTok for so long. Like on principle. I was like,
they're just going to kick me off or what. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try. And you know what? I have not made $500,000 or $100,000 or even $1,000. I don't think on TikTok.
But it's fun.
But I am having a good time.
And it gives.
I like it.
People who like you get to see like this other side of your personality, the creative, like the fun side, like what can you do with it? I saw the Full House one.
Did you like that? I had fun doing that one.
That made me laugh so much.
So that has been kind of my newest excitement, and it's actually been a fun way where like I'm getting together and like meeting people that don't even that aren't really part of the porn industry. They're like, or they're just like even just TikTokers. Like that's actually what I think. The best part of this new
is that it opens you up to not just the mainstream porn that people think of it, but you get to meet like a broader scope of people. I've been meeting
so many new people, and I felt like it's kind of weird saying like my last 2 years in porn, even though I'm still in porn. My last year or so of living in LA, kind of being part of the porn sphere.
The LA Times.
The LA Times. The hustle. And, but,
Wait,
you know.
That's a newspaper.
I know. Right? That is a newspaper. I just felt like you start to kind of, and even though I loved all the people, I have nothing but, it's like you're just in this circle and you start to forget
that there's
you don't even realize
of
there's
it.
a whole, and there is now this just giant world of creators doing so many different things that make money in so many different ways, and they're not part of this what do you call it? I keep making a circle. There's a word
The porn
for
circle.
It. Yeah, yeah. They're
the
not
porn
in
the
this,
circle jerk. They're not part of the circle jerk.
They're not
okay?
part of it. And a lot of people in there are kind of grumpy, you know. And I've even when I was just in LA, a few people were like, "Yeah, well, you know." I only shoot porn with other professionals, and I'm like, well, and which I think is what they mean by like people who aren't in this, you know. And I'm like,
the circle jerk.
Like I've had a lot of fun shooting with unprofessionals, if you want to call it that. I don't like that word, but like people who. I don't know, are not like, jaded.
And one of the cool things too is that if you do work with someone outside of the realm of maybe who you would normally shoot with, or even that's one thing I love about the podcast is even just having people over for conversations. Not everyone is in the industry who comes on here, so we get to talk to so many different people, see so many different we get to hear so many different ways that other people outside the industry see the industry or questions that they have. And then when you also work with performers who maybe have their own niche, they've built their own fan base for some reason or another. Their fans might not even be fans of yours at all. They may have never heard of you, and you're closing yourself off from the opportunity of meeting someone new, getting some new creative ideas that maybe you haven't thought of before, and introducing yourself to a whole new fan base while also introducing your fan base to someone that you might have a really cool connection with. As someone who always loves new technology, one question that I have is, why can't tech be cute? But then I discovered kawaii lighting, and I realized that it actually can be, and it is, at kawaiilighting.com. These aren't basic ring lights. They stand out. So whether you're looking for RGB to make a statement or want to do something extra cute, like with their cat, heart, or star-shaped lights, kawaiilighting.com has you covered. Get one for yourself. Get one for the cute streamer in your life. Whoever you get one for, use code TWND at checkout or click the affiliate link in the description to let them know I sent you. You tried the performance boxer briefs from Manscaped?
You know, I have not, but I have given them to my man, and he loves the new prints. They're so cool.
They're very cute and they're soft. And if you have a gaping hole that you need to cover, let me tell you, it fits you in all the right places to cover up all your gaping holes.
And use our code.
Use code TWND at manscaped.com, and your balls will thank you because. Also, I would like to address something that I feel like I've addressed many times. We all have been sending me a lot of pee-pee photos lately. And by that, I don't mean urine. I mean your wiener. And your ball sitch, it's looking...
like this.
Yeah. Like if I were to go... Like if I were to go down... Yeah. If I were to go down there, this is what you'd see.
Maybe.
And sometimes it makes it hard to even see your wiener. So... Get the Lawnmower 4.0. Get it in the Performance Package 4.0 where you can get some boxer briefs. You can get the lawnmower. Yes. You can get the Weed Whacker nose, ear, and hair trimmer. You have the crop toner and crop ball reviver, ball deodorant, and all that stuff with code TWND at manscaped.com because I'm tired of looking at this.
Yeah, keep it fresh. It's getting hot out there. You need that deodorant.
It makes your dick look bigger too.
It does. And also, it's like there are even sometimes a dick, and I'm like, I think that's a pretty decently sized dick,
but there's
I
just
can't
so
tell
much going on
because you have a rainforest crawling the way up. It's like Rafiki's tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want to traverse that. I'm not that big of an explorer. I'm a homebody, so make sure that it's like
stream.
And I like some hair. Yeah. I do. Do you like? I like a little bit of hair.
A little hair is
I don't
good.
like it bald. That makes me like feel weird, even though I have none.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I want everyone else to have a little bit.
I don't mind like a little of the stubble, and I don't like to have a little of the stuff. But also, it's like I hear that more and more men are wanting their butt eaten.
Yes.
I'm not if you have someone who goes down there, it's like, and if you spread those little cheeks, and all you see is a rabbit tail tuft. There's no way I'm licking that. There are so many particles in there.
Like on the ball area and stuff. Like if all that is long, I don't want my nose getting in it while I'm trying to eat your butt.
Or your
chin.
Your
chin. Yeah, just get rid of it.
So here's one of the fun things that happens. So when you're giving head, so go to manscaped.com and use code TWND to save 20% and get free shipping on everything that you purchase so that you can clean up that ball sitch. Mm-hmm. Because one of the things is if you're going down there and you're trying to give that good sloppy top, that Glog 3000, and you're going to get it all nice and spitty because that's what's good. That's what feels good. You don't want to give a dry blowjob. This isn't like, you know, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that sandpaper. So if you're going down there and you're getting a glocky, when you get down to the bottom, you're just be like dusting your chin with all of your own spit that's just like collected down there. And who knows what else is collected down there? Because if your ball sitch looks like that, I guarantee that you're not like conditioning it and shampooing it. Like you don't even care. And so if you don't care about your balls, we won't care about your balls. So if you want your balls to thank you and you want to get good head, go to manscaped.com. Use code TWND to get 20% off and free shipping. You might get better head. You might.
Best sales pitch I've ever heard.
Hey. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring the show. Now, back to the show. So it's like...
So that's been cool.
Yeah.
And we're like I've said before, we're like in the Wild West right now. Like there's not like one way to do things.
Yeah, there's so many different ways.
There's so many different ways. So I my fun thing now is just shooting wacky TikToks, and it was really funny because I did actually talk to like I don't know one of these like social media managers at some point, and I was like, everybody says there's like money to be made on TikTok, and I've never really seen that yet. And he actually took a look and he's like, Joanna, you're not really making content that men like. And I was like, he's like, aren't you like in porn? Is that supposed to be what you're good at? And I was like, I'm not good at that. I guess I'm not, unless I'm having sex. I don't know how to be sexy. That was what I've realized, when I started to look at all these other like influencers that have TikTok, and I'm like, God, they're so good at being sexy. But they don't have sex.
Yeah, they're so good at it.
And if they do, it's like they're actually not very good at having sex. No offense to all you really beautiful influencers out there,
Gorgeous.
Some of you just don't like having sex,
And that's fine.
And that's fine. I've had sex with some of you,
Sometimes
and I can
you just
tell.
need us good old dirtbags to show you how it's done. You know what I mean?
Everybody's exactly. Dirtbags,
Yeah.
perverts, disgusting
I love
people.
it.
I'm here for it.
Every time I shoot too with like an influencer girl, I'm like, what are your list of like no's and this and that? I'll go through it, and they're like, what's on yours? I'm like, I don't have any.
You can do all the things.
Like, do anything.
You can literally do anything to me. Should I make one up so I don't sound like a whore? I don't. but like,
you're just going down the list.
You can bite me, slap me, pull my hair.
Literally, you could do anything to me. So
but I feel you on the TikTok thing because I tried to do this sexy one. I keep seeing it
you
going
look really
around.
hot on there, so I think
I like
you
the goofy
might
ones.
just be
I like
too
to
hot where you're trying not to be hot and it's not working. I don't know, like I think you just might be too hot. That's
I've never heard such lies come through these headphones in my life.
You're hot.
I found that with a lot of girls that came from porn, we're just like being goofballs on there, whereas the other girls have really strategically figured out how to be hot on there.
Like there's this one, right? And she pushes it. It's like a low angle and it just goes straight back. And then she's walking and it's so sexy and her hips are going.
Cannot.
And we went on this content trip and I was like, there's a hallway and I'm going to fucking do this. I brought a roller skate thinking in my head, that's how they do it.
I know which one you're talking about, and I tried to imitate it, and it looked like garbage. I know which one you're talking about. No, they use a skateboard. It's a skateboard, yeah, and they put like something on it, yeah. I tried it, and it looked like shit. So
with the roller skate,
and it was like I think the person I found, I swear, I think she was like a 16-year-old girl. She was like,
my God.
like kids know how to do this stuff, and we don't.
And I don't because I set it up in a roller skate
a
and I
16-year-old
push
girl
it
on TikTok. On TikTok.
I know.
Whose page I don't even know. Just something like I started looking at tutorials, and it
like,
was literally like a young girl like telling everyone how to do it, and I still tried to do it, and I could not do it for the life of me.
Yeah. That's how I have to do it, is find some tutorials, because the roller skate was not happening. It just kept like going into the wall, or it would like fall over, and I was like, it's a roller skate, it should just go straight. It has four wheels.
No, it's a skateboard.
Like,
wait, so did you do it?
No, I didn't post it because it starts off really cool and then it's like
and then you just walk. I know what you're talking
straight.
about.
Like it just here's the wall.
Yeah, I don't think. How would a roller skate work? I know it. Yeah,
because it's like the skate, so not a blade, so it's like 4-4. So you would think you just push it
smooth
and it would go forward, but it just wants to go.
No. I don't think roller skates work like that.
I guess not.
Yeah,
I thought I knew how roller skates work, but apparently it's a good thing I'm in porn because I don't know a lot.
Yeah, the roller skate. A person needs to wear them for them to roll. right?
I guess. I mean, they did roll. Here's the thing. I
don't think they just.
They're not self-operating.
No. But if you push it, it should go down a hallway.
I mean, I guess essentially a roller skate is a skateboard on a shoe when you think about it.
Yeah. If you think, well, if the wall hadn't been there, I think it would have just kept going, but like in a circle, like such a full circle.
It's just doing little figurines.
Roller skates are made for roller rinks. They just naturally go in a circle to help. I don't know if that's true.
Mind blown.
Might be.
Yep. So that's it. It's like, and I think a lot of girls that came, from the industry, it's like, it's a funny part because I'm like, I don't know how to be sexy. I did accomplish one, I think, last night. I'm gonna see how it does. I shot like one of those first halves of a TikTok, literally at the beginning of my trip, which was almost 2 weeks ago now. I shot like the first half where you're in sweatpants and you're like, boom. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot the second half. I've shot that second half. I shot it probably 2 or 3 times a day, every single day on this trip. And I had other people shoot it, camera guys.
And you're just
I
like,
handed
I
it to
just
other
can't.
people, everyone. I was like, I look so ridiculous. Like, I don't look sexy. Like, I was just like, I look awkward. This is not hot. This is not hot. I have to start again. And last night I was like, I have to figure this out. And so I finally figured out a second half that looked good enough. And it's still not perfect, look good enough. And I posted it today. I was like,
please.
Did I do it? Did I successfully look sexy on the internet after being in porn for 20 years?
What? Like, and on set, it's not like, is there
It's
something that like makes
different.
you feel sexy to put you in the mood? Like what? That's one thing. Like what makes you feel sexy? Like because
does make me
porn
feel
is very
sexy.
much like turn on the cameras and like let's go.
I mean, I guess you are on set about to have sex, so you're kind of like getting into the sex mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're channeling. Your sexual energy is already there.
Yeah.
It's almost like you bring it with you. You know?
Yeah.
So
for
it's
sure.
kind of like maybe that's where it's lacking when I'm like, okay, I just want to like
because you're not
shoot
about to.
you're not
have
about to
sex.
fuck. You know?
Well, maybe that's what
Maybe
you should
that's
do
the
is like
issue.
not do it in your hotel room and do
Right.
it like right before you're about to do
right
a
before
scene.
you're about to do a scene.
You could
in
even
the
have,
middle
like,
of the scene.
you
When
could
I'm all
even-
turned on. Just be like, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna put my clothes back on.
You know
and,
something something you could do is even start it with just yourself and then do the transition with your scene partner.
You're right.
Because then you could almost like do the reaction and then interact
right.
with each other and maybe that would
need
make
to
you
figure
feel
out-
kind of.
Yeah. But
I saw the one you did with Dread.
Yeah, what did you like?
That
That
was
was
cute.
Not sexy content, but fun.
It was cute.
It was cute,
It was
right?
cute. Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked
that one
it.
was fun. He was like, "Wait, what's going on?" I'm like,
Also,
just sit there.
can I just ask how? I'm sorry, but just how?
So I know you asked like 20 questions ago or whatever. Like, what kind of content do you like to shoot? So my safe for work content, I enjoy being goofy. And like I said, I like a challenge. My challenge for my safe for work content is being sexy. I'm happy to take any pointers from anyone.
If I find out, I'll let you
when
know.
we're talking about the hardcore content, I suppose I've always enjoyed and I've always been known for. I do like shooting. Like the hardcore stuff. Like do like shooting anal and squirting and.
You were mentioning
I
how
like
much
that
you've been enjoying the new
intense
swabs.
scene. Yeah, I mentioned, So in porn now, there was a big uptick in STDs.
Something happened.
Sometimes it happens.
She's like, why didn't they do this sooner?
Right.
Come on.
So
She's like 20 years in and now
Right.
they're swabbing? Come
I
on.
know, right? Well, look, and also there's so many more people in porn
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
this is not porn's fault.
No.
This is a responsible reaction to the solution, to the problem. But there's just porn is huge now. I was actually talking to one of the women at the testing center, and I've seen her at all the different testing centers that have existed over the years. She's been since day one. She's been in porno testing for 20 years or whatever. And she was like, "Yeah, I remember the first when the first year I worked, there were 300 people total in the testing database.
Oh wow.
That meant 300 people like in porn, basically.
Yeah.
And now there's like 20,000 or something. There's a lot of fucking going. So like, of course, there's going to be more things to get tested for when the number had grown. And that was just like a rough estimate. And this was also a conversation I had with her like a few years ago. Like, so that's
so it's
probably
increased since then,
50,000 now.
for sure, yeah.
Anyway, so, okay, the uptick in STDs, which meant we had to get tested for more stuff. And the more stuff required, like, we usually just get our blood drawn and we pee. And so it was blood drawn, pee, and then you had to swab yourself. So you have to take a swab and stick it in your butt, you know, to see if there's anything
living in there,
lingering. And it was
Anything
a funny moment because, you're
like, hello.
Exactly. In the industry, it was a moment where a lot of people were like, oh my God, I can't do that. And I was like, do you need 3 Q-tips up there?
Not at once.
I want to be real sure. There's nothing in there. Give me more.
It's like a triple sub.
Do you have
Oreo
a thicker?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have
a thicker swab?
Like, this is for beginners.
Listen, I brought my own from home. If I can just
give me the advanced swab.
Listen, let's get Dredd in here. Can you just test it off the edge of his dick, please? Just swab his dick and we'll see.
Just give it to me.
I can't.
I mean, it was a funny thing. I remember when everybody started getting, had to get tested for COVID.
Yeah.
And they were doing the throat swabs. And I remember, like, being in the office, and it was, like, a good, like, barometer, like, who was gagging?
That was me. I was gagging.
I remember it was like...
Yeah, you were.
Every time.
Yeah. There was, like, me and, like, a gay performer and, like, a straight male performer all in the office at the same time, and like I went like no issues, like the gay guy no issues, and then like the other one was like, and everybody's laughing. I'm like, well,
I just picture.
I was like, you sure you don't want to go up my nose?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. The throat, it's cool.
I just picture this like
no gagging. I'm like,
I just picture this like rookie female performer coming out of the back testing room. Her makeup's running down her face. And she's like, that was so rough. It's like, oh, honey, just wait.
Because you remember the beginning of the COVID swabs, they were getting really in there.
They were getting in there.
I felt like as time went on, I was like, did you even get anything?
Yeah. Like, are you just swabbing the roof of my mouth? Like, what are we doing? I'm used to just like deep throating this thing, and now it's just like tickling my tonsils.
Exactly. It went from like, because it was like version 1 of those
they're just
COVID
like
tests.
skating around your uvula, just like digging up around in the.
Yes. Pre-vaccine COVID tests, and they're like, they really wanted to make sure.
I had a friend once come with me because she was like, what goes on at the COVID test? She's like, I was like, you want to come? You want to see? She's like, yeah. So then they swab me. She's like, can I take your picture? And I'm like, what
is going on?
With the swab in my throat? Why?
Is it exciting?
She's like, I'm just going to Photoshop a dildo right in there.
Yeah. She's saving it for blackmail later. The photo.
She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this when the time comes.
We have it. There is a
right. Yeah. I don't know. You asked how, Dredd. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, just how did
and he even said, I have to say, at the end of the scene, he said something like, did good, He's like, I guess, most of the time, the girls, it takes a little while, the warm up, you know what I mean? So when the scene, started, he was like, hey, do you want to like was sucking his dick, and then it was time to, and the camera guy was like, do you want to warm up for a while before we start shooting and I was like, no, I want to film the struggle, Yeah. It wasn't that much struggle. I could even tell the camera guy. He was like,
you got to fake it. You're like clenching. You're like, oh no.
Like, no. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, that was a little struggle, but he's like, usually we have to stop for like 20 minutes and get and then I was like, just
your butthole's just down there like
30
I'm
seconds.
Ready.
Yeah, exactly. A minute and a half tops. We could get anything in there. I don't know. Just I think a lot of smaller girls, though, I will say, because I know all sides from being a director over the years. Like it always seemed like the girls who were the smallest had I don't know, vacuous buttholls.
It to me, well, even sometimes with vaginas, I'm just like, now I'm a tall woman, but I do have a little tiny giny, and it can stretch, it can spread.
And I'm not bragging. I have a tight vagina. It hurts a lot, you know. Like I can only take so much in my vagina. I think, but maybe
butthole is your butthole is just more accepting.
Exactly.
Than your pussy's like.
No,
but
my pussy will say stop. You know, my butthole.
Yeah. It says.
Let's
like
go.
The performer is like stop, and your butthole's like no.
Yeah.
Just like munching it up.
Just eating it. But no. I remember, God, especially when I first started performing. I remember my first like week of like everyday scenes. And I got, you know, that was the first time I experienced like pussy soreness. I was like, whoo, putting ice on it, you know, and that was actually, you know, when I realized, I was like, I don't really get sore in my butt. So there were times when I'd be doing scenes and I would just be like, let's do anal. And they'd be like, oh, you know, it's not in the budget, you know, or whatever. Like, they would kind of cut and be like, hey, it's not in the budget. And I'd be like, it's fine, I don't care. And they'd be like, yeah. And then they'd be like, God, she's such a good whore. Like, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't need anyone. I'm like, oh.
Do you like to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like, spontaneous anal doesn't really happen on set.
No, it doesn't.
That's a very, very special
But the secret was my pussy was just, like, sore, you know? So it was partly from being a whore. And partly like, it really was just, like, honestly, like, I'd rather do anal for free right now than continue with my pussy.
Heck yeah. you
like,
bless them.
They're sore, you know?
You bless them.
I bless them.
Like, you're welcome.
Everybody wins in this situation.
Yes.
You know, everybody wins. But
everyone wins from spontaneous.
Spontaneous anal.
Spontaneanal. No, it doesn't work. Spontaneanal.
They should call it spontaneanal.
Spontaneanal.
Spontaneanal. That should
Spontaneanal.
be yeah, let's put it in the Urban Dictionary.
I like that. Spontaneanal.
Spontaneous anal.
Where you might get poop on your dick, but you might not.
Exactly.
Spontaneanal.
Yeah, that was my only, like, sticking stuff in my ass has never been a big, you know, deal. What I had to, like, train myself in porn for was, like, figuring out, you know, the diet and how to, you know, how to not.
What does, like, the prep look like for that as someone who doesn't do anal? And for Laura, who is a fan of anal,
you
but
didn't want
doesn't
to put
do
a Q-tip.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to.
We're going to have to start, you know. I mean, at this point,
I have to work up to it.
You do have a really nice butt.
Thank you.
Booty.
Thank you. I'm working towards it. I figure I'm 31. I have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, but it's like one of those things where it's like
you've never tried. Have you ever tried it at all?
Well, yeah, with my ex, but it was
that doesn't count.
Couple exes, sucks. It was terrible, and penis so small. But
a butt plug? You've never even tried a butt plug?
No, I've done a butt plug, but that was even a very new thing within the past like 3-4 years ish, and very, very rarely. But I didn't mind it, and I liked it with my current man. So cute with a butt plug. With my current man, he has. Well, it's not a tiny penis, and it's nice. Big? It's nice to rub. It's big.
Do you shoot stuff with it, or you don't? No.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I just wanted to know if I could see the penis somewhere. I'll sign up. I'll pay for it.
I have a photo on my phone. I can show it to you after. For sure. Don't worry, I'll show it to you. Laura, is the desert hot?
As hell.
As hell. Some may feel run down in the heat of summer. Do you ever feel run down?
Yeah. Every day.
Do you ever feel like you just don't want to get out of bed?
I mean, sometimes.
Like, it's difficult.
It's that hot. You're miserable.
You stopped drinking coffee. Laura, where will you get your energy? How will you keep your skin?
It's been hard.
How will you keep your skin so dewy and beautiful?
It's hard. It's really hard. I got to drink a lot of water.
You have to drink so much water, and then you have to pee all the time.
I'm running to the bathroom like
constantly.
Yeah.
You're always peeing. But you never feel fully hydrated.
Never. With this heat, how can you
how do you do it? Laura, I have good news for you. Did you know that 1 stick of liquid IV, when dissolved in 16 ounces of water, hydrates better and faster than water alone?
Damn.
Would you like to try some liquid IV?
I would, actually.
Which flavor would you like? They have provided us pina colada.
Ooh.
They have golden cherry. Highly recommend, one of my personal favorites.
That sounds good.
They have acai berry. And also passion fruit, which I have already begun using, as well as the golden cherry.
Damn. Let's do the golden cherry. That sounds really good.
Open the package, Laura. Do you like the packaging?
I love it.
It's really my favorite color. I really like it.
This is great. I mean, and it's slim, so you can just stack your
cabinets.
cabinets.
Just slide it right in. Slide it right in with liquid IV.
All right, let's do this.
I don't know. All right.
So the whole thing, right?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And luckily for us, I have a spoon. So that
Luckily.
what I prefer to do is to put it in my blender bottle and just that's how I start my mornings, actually, because I am always dehydrated. I do it before I even have my coffee in the morning. True story, literally every morning here in Vegas, especially during the summer. So Laura, let me know what you think of golden cherry.
Oh, nice.
It's become my personal favorite.
Thanks. Cheers, everyone. Oh, dude, that is good. That is really good. And it's not sweet, but it has a good flavor. You could definitely taste the cherry in that. That's
so good. So highly recommend golden cherry.
Delicious.
Now, if you guys go to liquidiv.com and use code TWND at checkout, you will save. You will save.
Drum roll.
Hi, this is David with a quick interruption real quickly. Liquid IV, still on, still great, still doing its thing. Same code, TWND, all that stuff, but save 15% when you use the code TWND podcast.
You might be dehydrated. You might be. You'll never know unless you try. So, Laura, can we tell them a little bit more about Liquid IV?
Yeah, I would love to.
I mean, you'd never heard of it before, but you just have these cards here that are just so useful for our visual viewers. So, Liquid IV has 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks, which is just electrolytes. It's what plants crave. All right.
Yep.
What else? Vitamins. B3, B5, B6, B12, all of the best Bs, and vitamin C, which you need because people be getting sick. So don't get sick. Use vitamins.
Yeah.
I mean, you might still get sick, but you might get sick less. You might. All right. It's non-GMO. It's free from gluten. Oh, gluten's so scary. Dairy, which is fantastic because why would you mix dairy
with water?
With water. It's also great for those who are lactose intolerant like me. And, you can confidently say that the dairy that is lacking from Liquid IV sticks is just tremendously saving for your butthole. And I know that you guys relate. Liquid IV has also donated. They are trying to change the world, guys. They're trying to change the world. They're trying to hydrate the world. Yes. They have donated over 20 million servings globally. That's like so many more than 2 million.
We love
so many more. It's 20 million. That's crazy. So
thank you, Liquid IV.
If you guys want to experience better hydration today, then you should go to liquidiv.com and you
can save 15% off on all the stuff, all the flavors, like pineapple. Pineapple sounds good. I like the watermelon. The watermelon's great. If you don't like watermelon, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Love you, babe.
See the penis in your mouth.
But it's
look how excited she got. Come on, show her the phone. I'm kidding.
I'll show it to her.
I'm joking.
Our special secret. I'm not gonna post it anywhere. Just for my personal collection.
Yes, of course. Trust me, I have some things from my personal collection. I got plenty to share with you. But it's like viewing my butt, which will become a thing. We have to get through the episode before you get to see me with a dick in my mouth.
Right.
Ta-da! The end.
But yeah. So he has a big dick. You'd have to work up to it. You've put a butt plug in there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, I've given girls, what I do, but like everybody's body is different. I mean, I think the main thing with anal is like you have to You have to pay attention to your body.
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah,
do
for sure.
what it says. And sometimes your body will say, today is not an anal day.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, girl.
Sometimes
Girl, when
it
you
will
wake
say
up,
that.
you can just know.
You just
Some days
know.
you're like, today is not a day
Today's
for
not
anal.
an anal day, you know? But for me personally, I tried, you know, a bunch of different methods. Also, like, when I first started in porn, this was before Twitter, you know, and I felt like a lot of girls didn't like talk to each other. Also, there wasn't really ways of communicating a lot unless you were on set with someone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
things have
it
changed
was
a lot real
hard.
quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's when
can you imagine
you don't think about it
porn
often, but when you
pre-Twitter?
do,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I made this joke, and I'll say it again. When I hosted the XBiz Awards, one of the jokes I said was something like back in my day, you had to go to set to talk shit about someone.
You could have just like tweet about it.
Yeah, there was no tweeting about it. We had to, you know, and it was hard work. You know, you had to like go in another room. You know, you had to like, you know, make sure the other person wasn't there. You had to, like,
to
you know, you
actually
had to, like,
shit talk.
or you had to call them call somebody on the phone and be like, oh my god, I have a story for you. Here's what happened. People didn't just like go home and vent. On Twitter.
But I think, and that's like the venting on Twitter is so unhealthy because it's like people don't like fully process what they're thinking or feeling before they just spit it out.
Twitter's
and it's like
the best and worst thing to ever happen to porn. Like it's like, you know, definitely had as many positives as it's had negatives. You know?
And that's everything. That's everything in life.
Social media in general, I think, has been that way for.
It's one of those things too. It's not like, you know, bullying or clicks or any of that thing was never a thing before the internet, before Twitter. It's like a different magnitude. It's just like the same thing but just amplified, and it's like everybody's inner thoughts are just like so readily available to post or to share or to leave something negative if you're feeling negative, or it's like just take a breath and think,
let thoughts
is this
be thoughts.
something that I want everyone to associate with me before I post it?
I'm pretty, I don't really let it lash out, but you know, I sometimes I have respect for some of the girls that do. I'm just like, you know, more power to you that you're like, so I don't know what the word, you know, like I'm always like second guessing things. So,
like quick to do it.
You know, hey, it gets good engagement. A lot of fans like it. I don't know, you know, sometimes I'm like maybe is there a part of me I could just, you know, spill on there. I'm like probably a little too much on one side and maybe other people are too much there. Like, you know, like I should probably share more thoughts.
Yeah, but
it is hard. I get nervous. Sometimes I'm about to post something. I'm like, never mind.
It is hard to do because
to know that about me.
Because we're always like judged for our bodies, right? So we're used to being judged for our bodies or how we look naked or how we have sex or whatever, and that's just superficial. Like nobody cares about that. Our bodies change all the time.
I don't care, and
whatever.
You cannot.
But
hurt
being
me.
judged on your brain, that's
totally
different. Because then it's like, oh well, you're attacking like what I think, and just because
you're attacking my soul,
and just because something I think isn't what you think doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong or evil or, you know, an attack on you. Like it's like there's so much assumption that things that other people do are because of you. Right. And it's like we internalize the same thing with other people, like, oh, they must be this way because maybe I did this, or because, you know, this person said this. And there's so much that if you were to just like get down to the brass tacks and just like talk to that person instead of playing phone tag and guessing things in your brain and just, you know, making up scenarios that aren't necessarily even there or as big of a deal as they are, we can build that up in our own brain and then just use it to lash out on other people, which doesn't help anyone. You know? And so it's good to like be able to share those opinions, but it's also just like if you're comfortable enough, you know, and you believe, you know, whatever it is that you believe enough to share it, then fuck what anybody else thinks. If they don't like it or if they're going to be negative, because it is one of those things that regardless, it brings engagement if there is negative and positive to it. But on the other note, it's like, at least you know what, you know, who those people are and what they're actually like, because, you know, instead of just maybe taking a moment themselves to think, oh, it's okay for someone to have a different opinion or to say this other thing, they instantly go to the lash out. And it's like, well, I can kind of see what kind of person you are then. By proxy.
You can. Yeah. Ooh, Twitter. Yeah. I don't even remember where I started. Butt stuff.
Getting to dread. Sorry, prepping for dread.
So I mean, there's only so much prepping you can do. I mean, a lot of girls have told me that they've like stretched. I actually never really have. Okay, I have one funny stretching story. I've told it before, and after that, I didn't really do it. I think the butthole, once it's been trained to open, it's
it just
like riding a
opens.
bicycle. If you've opened it before,
you can open,
it
again.
again.
Crack the code.
I mean, people do open their buttholes, every day. It is trained to do that. What I was saying like 20 sentences ago or whatever. When I first started, a lot of girls didn't want to give each other advice. So I used to read like a gay bottoming message boards. I'm like, because I remember the first few times on set, I would starve myself or like, and I'm like, this just isn't like sustainable, like if you're doing anal every day, like what are you gonna do? Starve yourself every day, and like
only eat gummy bears. That's
right,
all.
yeah, and like sometimes, I'd be doing shoots at night. I'd be like it's just always different. So I just started getting advice from whatever. So that was the best place for me to go for. I'm like, well, these are people that,
do all
my
the time.
gay friends go out and get fucked in the ass all the time. And
they're
they're not
fine.
starving themselves and they're not like, you know what I mean? They can have spontaneal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what? So I started to I learned a lot of little secrets there, but ultimately you got to listen to your body, when it comes to like diet and,
sure.
stuff like that, what you can eat, what you can't eat, what's going to help, what's not going to help. But, I mean, I think some girls, they do have these like butt plug, like training kits that I've seen, which it's like I've bought them before and then I just never even use them,
Yeah, your butthole just doesn't need
My
it.
butthole just kind of opens up. But I would say, like, I think butt plugs really are the best. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they open from the inside,
butt plugs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, my first, a long time ago, this forever ago. my funny butt stretching story. When I was, pretty new in the industry, I was requested to do a scene with the legendary Belladonna for some of you old school porn fans.
Yeah.
Shout out.
The anal legend. Yeah. She was actually the one, I watched some of her videos like before porn, and I was like, I want to do whatever she does. And she does anal.
Well, there you go.
So I'm gonna figure this out. I
love that.
Anyway, so when she had asked to do a scene with me, I was like very honored, and I wanted to like show her that my butt can do anything. And it was a live show, actually, very very early on live shows. Yeah, very old school live shows. Anyway, and it was on her website, and anyway, I was like, okay, I'm gonna book it, because I had seen all these videos of her sticking like baseball bats and just up her ass and everything. And I was like, okay, well, I want to come showing her I know what I'm doing. And I actually like slept with a giant butt plug in. I bought like the biggest butt plug I could find in the store.
Just to, like,
and
pre-stretch.
I like, yeah. And I slept with it in, which is absolutely not what anyone should do.
Yeah,
and I
I've heard a story. Who was it that lost one inside?
Me.
You did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
did you
fell
lose one
asleep.
inside?
Yeah, I fell asleep with one, and it just sucked up. So
That's,
I had
yeah.
to, like,
Well, now,
it was not a
spoiler.
giant one. That's why.
Yeah, you need a bigger one.
Yeah. That's
Laura,
all.
listen, if you want to sleep with a butt plug in, we need to go up a size.
I think I'm going to take Joanna's advice and not. So what happened? Like,
and then I kept it in, like on my way to set, in the makeup
You just
chair,
were, like, riding around
whatever.
with a big butt
I was just had a big butt plug in me, like forever and ever, Anyway,
I have a question, because I had to walk with a butt plug recently with a bunny tail attached to it, and it was just the weirdest
well,
feeling.
the bunny tail one is not like
The bunny tail,
that's like
the bunny tail does be making it go like this
you
inside
can't
of your
sleep with a
butthole.
bunny
I felt
tail
like a
butt
turd
plug.
was just
You
like
need,
trying
like,
to come
a,
out
you
every
know.
time I
You
took a
kept
step.
saying that,
I was walking like this.
like, it looks like I'm pooping.
It's true. It's true. That's funny. No, but I mean, a bunny tail butt plug is not like what you sleep in.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Thank God I didn't go to bed with it in.
That's all she wears to bed.
Just a bunny plug.
That and some Chanel.
That's it. Just some Chanel and a bunny butt plug.
Classy. My classy girl.
So, whatever. It comes time for the scene, obviously. Took the giant butt plug out. And then, she knew I was like new. Also, Belladonna was like I'm talking about her like she's dead or something. She's not dead. I
Alive
say
and
was.
well.
Yeah, because she's not in the industry
She's
anymore.
retired,
So I say
right?
what? Yeah, she retired a while ago. You know, she was the nicest person, you know, on earth, and like very gentle and actually very, you know, sometimes people say that about me, like your on camera persona is so like
That's so
aggressive,
cool.
and she was just so like you know, polite,
Yes,
nice, and
respectful,
and
all
she
the
knew I
things.
was new, so I think she wanted to like go easy on me. Anyway,
Meanwhile,
we're
you're like,
doing
I'm not gonna have a big butt plug
like I
right
slept
now.
with like, you know,
I got you.
yes, a Coke can in my asshole. So it came time, you know, so we were doing the live show, and we're making out, and then I kind of like got on all fours, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna like stick a butt plug inside you, and I couldn't even see, you know, and her camera guy at the time, who was also her husband at the time, he was like, you know, filming.
Yeah.
It was one of the cameras hooked up to the, the laptop, you know.
Yeah.
And so he was like filming, and then, you know, I was like on all fours, you know, facing this way, so I didn't see like what was going on, and she took like the teeniest, tiniest butt plug ever made, you know, and be like, okay, I'm gonna put this in your ass,
And then just
like, all
dropped
good.
it inside.
And it literally fell inside of my butt. Like it went inside, and like she was like, oh my God, I just hear. And then her husband was laughing so hard, like the camera was like shaking, and then everybody in the show is like typing, you know, like, whoa, what just happened? And she was like blink. Yeah, just like, yeah. And then she was like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like, I just, let me figure this out. And she kind of had to like
Reach inside and find
scoop it out. You know, and
Just
she
scoop
was
it
like,
because it was already so wide she could just fit her whole hand to scoop it out.
pretty much. I know, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what to say. And she was like, no, it's okay. And like when she showed me the butt plug, I was like, let me see the butt plug that actually went to me. It was like so small,
Like a starter butt plug.
It was like
The smallest.
the smallest. Yeah, it was so small, and yeah, so I was like, okay, well, maybe that was a little overboard on stretching. Maybe, you know, that wasn't.
It was
you know,
hungry. You
was
stretched
hungry,
it out
yeah.
before. It was like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm here with an empty stomach. I don't know.
So
Break
maybe,
out the Fruit Loops.
Maybe I got all my stretching out of the way early on in my career, because I remember later that week I was like, I'm gonna try my next few scenes without stretching. I didn't, you know, and it just took. I mean, the thing is, you know, it's like people want anal advice, and I talk about it a lot on podcasts, and then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, God, there's like 20 minutes of footage of me out there just talking about pooping and not pooping. Once again, don't know how to make sexy content.
We talk a lot about pooping. It's
Instead, you
okay.
know,
We love a good
once
poop.
again, Joanna not knowing how to make content that men like.
This is the
Joanna,
kind of content we
podcast
live
talking
for.
about pooping.
Yeah.
So
half
let's
this
just
podcast is
ignore
poop.
the pooping conversation. But
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
you know, but the actual like getting a dick inside of you. I mean, really, you need to just like push out, you know, which most of the time, if something's about to go in your butt, the natural reaction is to clench
Wait.
up.
Oh my God.
Because you don't want to poop. on
Wait.
someone. I
So
am talking about
you're
pooping.
saying
Okay.
to push out
Push
when they're
out.
trying
I mean,
to go
you
in.
basically think of taking a poop. I said I wasn't going to talk about pooping, and
That
here I am.
makes so much more
That is
sense
what
though,
you need-
because then it's and then it sucks it in.
It sucks it in.
That makes
So you
so much
have
more
to just
sense.
take a deep breath and just be like, it's not going to go in. So I get it. The natural reaction is to.
That's all the advice I needed.
Yeah. That is all the. I
That's the
really.
cheat
I've
code.
changed the game. So all
He's
you've
gonna blow out
been
my
at that
asshole
point,
later.
you just need to be confident that you're not going to poop. You know.
I
And
mean,
then,
I'm never
and if you do,
confident
you
about
do.
that, but I'm with someone who loves me, and I
Yeah.
think it would
and
be
he's
okay.
gonna have to deal with it.
No,
because
he's-
he's getting
he's-
your
he's
ass. He's
told me-
getting this ass.
He's told
Yeah.
me.
Deal
He's like,
with it.
He's like,
I mean,
listen, if
I
it
would.
happens,
You can.
Come on.
He's told me that. He's
do
like,
no
if it
wrong.
happens, he's like, I
no
won't
one
even
else
tell
has
you.
had it. This is
he'll
like.
say he'll be like, if it happens, he's like, I won't even tell you. He's like, I don't care. I love you. I respect you. I won't even tell you about the poop on my day. He would.
That's true.
Just because he knows that it would.
I mean,
make me
you'll
laugh.
know.
I mean,
But yeah, that's like, it's very common when like somebody's trying to put something in your butt, you're going to clench up because
Yeah.
your body is like, oh no,
Wait, that's not the right way.
That's not. Yeah. So literally just do the opposite.
So
and like, I
push
felt
and then
like,
pull.
and I read that
Push
somewhere.
and pull.
Once I did that, I never had a problem, you know, and then you could, I mean, that's like, it'll.
I think you might have opened up a
I think
whole new
I think
avenue of
I think I
transit
just
for
gave
me.
you the secret. People always like say like, oh, well, you're like anal queen and you're this or that. And I'm like, it's not really like a skill. Like, I kind of just like open my butt.
Oh, it's a skill.
I'm like, I'll take it, but like, it's not really a skill.
Well, I mean, opening up so instantaneously for Dread to me is a skill. I mean, a dick is one thing, but then there's an arm.
Like I said, I have imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
So when people talk about it, like,
I know it's hard to take compliments.
It's hard to take a compliment.
It's easier to take a dick in your butt than a compliment.
Right, it is. I'm like, God, I think anyone could do this if they just tried, but I'll take it. Like,
anyone could. It's not that big of a It's just a forearm.
It's just
anyone could do it.
I mean, but I think I just gave you the keys to the kingdom.
I appreciate that very much.
Later on tonight, just there you go.
Thank you.
That's really
I'll
all
keep this in my crack for later.
And you just open up and it'll and then it's almost like there's this like a little blockage at first, whatever it is.
But then once you pass that,
once you pass it, you're good. So
good.
it's almost like your body's gonna be like, ow, this hurts. No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. And then when you just push through that,
it makes sense.
It opens the door, So you gotta just grease the doors, open it, and then it's open.
I'm excited.
And then
for
apparently,
a new
I
door.
was actually talking to Piers Paris about this, who does like
Piers.
insane. Yeah, I
He's
love
great.
him so much. He was saying how there's like a second sphincter or something in there,
A double?
and like you
A
have to
double
open
sphincter.
that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because like he's gone far beyond.
Do you ever think
whatever.
that sometimes poop gets stuck between your two sphincters?
Probably. It's possible.
How big is I wonder how big the gap is
gap
between
is-
the sphincters. Like, what could fit between there? What just sits in there?
I mean, if anybody knows, please
anyone-
write in or call.
If anyone, oh my God, this is what this episode is called: Between Two Sphincters.
Yes!
David, that's the name of the episode.
I mean,
If anyone knows what lives between the two sphincters, please call in 702-900-6446.
doctor?
If we have any
what do you call
doctors
it?
who listen.
We have some-
gastroenterologist. Is it
Yeah,
Are you out there?
proctologist? We have some
Any
nurses
of your fans
that
out there?
listen.
Yeah,
nurses.
proctologist.
Yes.
Anyone
We
in medical.
specifically want to know what's in there.
What's in there?
Between the two.
Between the two sphincters.
And can poop get
Don't
stuck?
call if you know.
If you
We're
don't
not
know,
interested in anywhere else.
if you
Yes.
don't know, don't call.
If you don't know, don't call.
You don't know. Stay off the phone.
Don't be an imposter.
Don't be
I think you should call this episode Imposter Syndrome.
Listen. Do not call in pretending like you know what's between the two sphincters. Okay, I'll
have
be able
to
to
know.
suss it
We
out.
know.
Okay.
We know.
We'll know if you're bullshitting.
That's
Hey.
Once again, I have failed to be sexy.
You are very sexy.
I
And
tried. Just look at my tits. That's why, I'm just like, maybe if I keep making my tits bigger,
So do
no
you
one
want
will listen to anything I'm
Dance with your
saying,
tits.
and I could just,
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody where they can like find your tits and your funny TikToks and all the things?
Yeah. Onlyfans.com/Joanna Angel. My name on Instagram is just at Joanna Angel. My name on Twitter is at Joanna Angel. They're both verified.
Awesome.
I got
Don't get
I got
catfished.
the Elon blue check mark. I don't know. Just like, everybody was like complaining about it.
I
and
can't
was
even
like,
get one at this point anyway because my account was just recently unbanned
What?
from
That
Twitter. I was banned from Twitter for like 8 months.
Why?
She just got it back.
I just
What
got
did
it back
you-
like a
what did
couple
you
weeks
do?
ago. I didn't. So apparently, when I would used
Sorry,
to do camp. No,
is
you're
this
good.
triggering?
No, can't trigger me. I've been through too much shit. So with before cam streams, I used to post like a 10-second maybe video of me just doing a little dance before cam. And Sony claimed a bunch of videos from like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
And then they just deleted my account.
Because of like the music?
Yeah, I guess because it was like 10-second, but it was basically what TikTok is now, but like
Yeah.
back in 2016.
That's the thing. I did actually see another girl the other day, and she randomly posted like a striptease with music on Twitter, and I was like, "Is this allowed or is this not allowed?"
I never know, so I'm just not going to anymore.
No music, just
Yeah, no.
just do the like, silence.
Just me, like
la la la.
come see me on cam.
You just say,
Beep
I'll
boop,
do the dance.
beep
You
boop.
play whatever music you want at home and
Yeah.
watch it.
All right, so turn up your speakers,
Right.
put
Put on some Iron Maiden and then dance.
And my
Meanwhile, it's
very-
Iron Maiden, and I'm just like,
Right? Just like rainbow. Oh no. Wait, is that Dio or Raiden?
all right.
Rainbow in the Dark. Okay, I know. What did I? My unsexy TikTok is Joanna Angel X. Follow me on there
Follow her
for the
everywhere.
most unsexy content you could possibly find.
And we thank you all for coming and listening every week.
Really fun.
We're coming up on 100th episode, so reminder, even if you don't know what's between the two sphincters, please call 702-900-6446. You can also leave us text messages. Yeah, just Google Voice. So
Google
leave
Voice.
all your
I'm gonna
submissions.
sext you guys.
Do it.
Yes,
Sex
please
us.
do.
Sex us. We love it. And hopefully by next week, you guys can let us know what's between your sphincters.
Yeah,
please.
So, see you next week. Oh, wait.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks for having me on.
See you
Thank
next
you.
Monday. We're doing that now. See you Monday.
See you.
Come.
Is that what we're doing?
Come.
Ah.